Hello. So it's been quite some time now since I've recorded my last video. Yeah, so a month ago now. I've been on vacation from university. I usually use this time to advance a lot with my business and leave everything ready so it's more automated and better than before, and I can work no problem the next 3 months that I also need to be working in university, so my schedule will usually look like this. March was kind of like an intense month. I have been really sick, like just laying in bed sick. Yeah, it's been pretty extreme. So this is my second week of vacation. So we always get at least 2 weeks vacation after every 3 months which is a trimester in university. So yeah, I'm in my second week now. Remember how I said that my vacation schedule usually looked more like this? Yeah, so last week it was more like this. The worst part about being sick is that you kind of lose momentum on what you have been building. So I plan to go really hard on my business like this year. So this month I needed to really go in to achieve my goal for June, which was to start really generating some substantial money with my business, really getting more clients, etc. But I kind of like haven't been able to do that. This was March 4th and this was March 25th, so last week. Thank God I am feeling really better now. And I have been kind of like retaking everything. When you get that snowball effect and you start getting a lot of momentum, don't stop it. Don't let it stop by anything, because then you really need to just pick yourself back up. I guess that I would like to make this video. You know, it's really important to stick to that momentum that you have been gaining, because when you lose it, it's really freaking hard to get it back. By this I mean, if I was meditating 15 minutes every day, every single day, no problem, a habit more. I was reading, I was working on my business like any time that I could. I was all in motivation, discipline, anything, like whatever. All of that full on. And then I need to just lay back and do absolutely nothing. I literally touched my computer 0 times for like 3 days, and that's unheard of. Last week, because I couldn't. You know, it throws you, like at least for me, it threw me off course. Like, you know, I think that the really hard thing about doing this that nobody really talks about, yes, you need to put in the extra work, the extra hours, but the mental real estate that you also need to invest when you put yourself through something like this, it's essential, it's important. It's the stress that you willingly decide to put in yourself, the extra responsibility that you decide to carry, the feeling of worry that you get if you don't provide client with the results that you promised, or you know, just the feeling that you should be doing more, but you aren't. You're procrastinating. And you know, the trust building part of things and having team members depend on you and on your work and on you doing your stuff, or basically like the feeling that you can be doing more and that you should be doing more, that's self-imposed, but nevertheless it is there. It's there when you're like slacking off watching YouTube, procrastinating. We're still human beings. You and I, we're human beings, and we burn because, especially if we have this type of mentality of like just doing everything that needs to be done and more, just without taking like the necessary breaks. That like we said we take breaks, but that's not really it. We neglect that, you know, we're not machines, and that every moment in a calendar, maybe it shouldn't be looking like all cluttered up, but just, you know, having time to stop and think. And that's why I'd say, or at least that, like, I think that's what happens to me, is that there's some point I can't take it anymore, and I mean, I don't know if it's, like, I sometimes think it's, like, weakness, like, yeah, I've been working really hard, but then there's days that I can't, and I don't know, I feel weak. Does anyone relate, or is it just me? Yeah, basically it's just more like the mental aspect that I wanted to talk about. Like, yeah, a lot of monk mode and detox and like spirituality, whatever. Yes, but I mean, there's time where this happens. Like, we all just fall in our own way. It can be like losing all your clients, like losing a bunch of money, or just losing will force. Like, you can't stop yourself from watching more than one YouTube video anymore. It became harder. I mean, it's not about just trying to go up in a straight line. I mean, this doesn't exist. I mean, unless it's in Pansy, it doesn't exist. It shouldn't be like that. It will not be like that. Some days we'll fail to accomplish everything that we planned. Some days we'll not accomplish to be productive. Some days. However, it's really important to just not let that stay in your whole progress. I mean, if you're like me, we're on this long term. Just stop and think, who are we really competing against? Some random guy on the internet, or say just who we were yesterday? Why do we need to make this amount of money in this amount of time? At least for me, it does help me have a clear goal and put pressure on myself, so I actually do the work and don't procrastinate. And time pressure, contributes to that. But let's just stop and take a deep breath. And if you're wondering why I'm looking, it's because I have my notes there. So I don't want to miss anything. So just, let's stop and remember, like, we're in this long term, and take a deep breath from time to time, and just remember that knockdowns are part of the process. We are not, remember this is a Ponzi scheme. It's not real. It can't always go up. We will have downside. We will be thrown to the ground sometimes, and that's the beauty of things. Because if everything was good, then how could we appreciate really the good things that happen? Like, we have to have bads, because those are the times that we maybe suffer most, but we learn most as well. Remember that you just gotta suck before you don't suck. So, and what if this isn't the way? Like, what's your way? You changing your path doesn't necessarily mean changing the overall destination. Like, if you don't give up, like, you only lose if you give up. So if you keep playing, that's really the game. And you'll eventually get there. You will go wrong. You will suck before you actually get there, because that's how we learn. We need to go wrong. We need to do it wrong. And, just suck before we figure out how not to suck. It's a marathon, not a sprint. So yeah, I've been watching a lot of YouTube. I've been sleeping a lot. I don't know, just slacking off a lot. And it's important to notice that after times like this, even if it's just a loss of motivation or a loss of momentum for whatever reason, you were sick, you were whatever, it doesn't really matter. But in these times, you can't just go from 0 to 100% at once. So we take ourselves lightly, we treat ourselves like a baby. You're meditating 30 minutes, you meditate 5. It's just getting back into the habit, just doing things that will take you to where you want to go. And remember that you can't do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. That's just insane. That's literally the definition of insanity. Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. It's just that that's not the way. So in my case, yeah, we could say that I kind of went into a rut. I am getting myself back up, but I'm not sure this is the path. I know where I want to go. I know the things that I want to accomplish, and I know my purpose, but I'm not sure which road to take. And it's exciting, and sometimes I forget how young I am and everything that lies before me, because I just get overwhelmed and trap myself in being just too zoomed in. And sometimes we just need to zoom out and remember that there's a whole lot more to it. So my plan to get back up is basically, I'll be doing vlogs again. I'm going to give it my all to the business. In God's name, I won't be sick again anytime soon. So I can just dedicate my whole energy to the business and between educating myself. I have been neglecting learning. I have been sleeping off on reading, and that can't happen. Education needs always to be a huge part of one's life. We can't just sleep off on our self-education, which is the most important part. Also, university, because like it or not, next week I'm starting university again. My focus is right now really growing my business, educating myself, really educating myself. It's an area that we can't sleep on that. Well, university, because how you do one thing is how you do everything, and taking care of my mind and body. So I really need to start eating better, sleeping better, exercising better, just things that contribute to one's overall self. 3 goals, and in my radar, of course, there is university. I can't sleep off on that either. I can't just have low grades, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And just becoming better. Remember, we're in this for the long run, for the long term. And sometimes we just need to pause and process everything and Just keep learning, keep acting on that knowledge, because knowledge without action is useless. Remember to follow your heart and take massive action. Yeah, we can go with that. See you on the next one. Bye.